Spoilers for episode 1 within. This is your warning.
She's so fucking shy. She takes selfies with a giant camera.
Life is Strange is a 5-part episodic adventure in the vein of the Telltale games. Life is Strange was developed by Don't Nod Entertainment, who worked on 2013's Remember Me. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to be talking about episode 1, Chrysalis. Life is Strange follows the life of Maxine Caulfield, frequently referred to as Max, as she returns to her hometown of Arcadia Bay to enroll in the prestigious university to further her love of photography. Soon after returning, she discovers she has the ability to reverse time, as she saves the life of who turns out to be her childhood best friend, Chloe. The series covers the days following this discovery, with the ever-present threat of a vision Max has of a devastating hurricane destroying the town. Life is Strange has a very Telltale feel to it. I'm a big fan of Telltale's more recent releases, so I was interested to see another team's approach to the same game style. Gameplay consists of exploring areas, talking to people, and making dialogue choices. With this sort of game, the gameplay often takes a back seat to other aspects of the experience, but regardless, the game controls well, and the way the player interacts with objects has a good feel to it. The radial control feels much nicer than clicking an option in a vertical list.
Only if you're not cool enough to get in. And it doesn't hurt your resume.
If you say so.
Max's time travel mechanic is interesting in terms of gameplay. Unlike Telltale's adventure games, where a player's choices are set in stone, Life is Strange makes use of its time travel gimmick to change how these choices work. Every time the player makes a decision, they are able to watch to see how the events play out, before having the ability to rewind and try any or all of the other options to see how they go. With this in mind, the player is able to choose the best option as they see it, based on the knowledge of what happens immediately after each choice. Most big decisions affect how at least one person sees Max, but it will be interesting to see if there are negative consequences for choices the player does make throughout the following episodes. This is a nice way of marrying the time travel mechanic to the narrative, and it also allows the creators to write to a greater depth, as it's assumed that multiple options will mean players experience effectively more of each character, per conversation, based on how they respond to different choices within that conversation. Life is Strange has some lovely visuals. Colours are rich and vivid, the environments are densely packed with detail, and this adds to the feel of a real tangible place. The creators clearly have the same artistic flair as the character Max. Even in terms of camera positioning, there are some lovely shots. The character designs are distinctive, and it is easy to differentiate each character based on how they look.
You look a little stressed out.
However, the game's textures do seem pretty poor at times, but this may just be on my machine. Also, the facial animations on minor characters can be quite frightening. Mouth animations in particular also seem to be a little iffy at times.
He's cute. I like skater boys. Too bad they don't like me. Go for a tree flip.
Let's get Trevor all over that action.
Despite the blurry at times graphics and some unnerving faces, the game still looks wonderful, and it never detracts from the experience much. Music is exceptionally well done, though understated throughout. The game utilizes a number of licensed tunes to great effect, and they are used sparingly but with real purpose. For example, the first trip through the school hall is really brought to life as the song kicks in. Attention must be given to the voice acting as well, as this is also very strong. The cast's voices convey emotion well, and there is nuance and depth in the way each of the main cast talks.
I thought he was so blazed it would be an easy score.
You needed money that bad?
Actually, yes. I owe big time.
A few times the writing is lacking.
Now, let's talk business.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
That's my family. Not me.
But on the whole, it suits the atmosphere and tone of the game. Even some of the teen speak, though cringeworthy at times, absolutely fits with these characters and their speech, and feels like it adds some flavour to dialogue.
Your generation was not the first to use images for selfie expression. Sorry, I couldn't resist. The point remains that
Certain references are also made to certain real-life media, and this also grounds the world of the game.
Maybe I could sneak in and watch Final Fantasy Spirits Within. I don't care what anybody says, that's one of the best sci-fi films ever made.
Environments are rich in detail, and this is one of the key things that makes Life is Strange what it is. Individual students' rooms actually appear lived in. Chloe's house is the best example. Her room paints a brilliant picture of who she is, and exploring the rest of the house, which is falling into disrepair, with objects left laying around from happier times gone by, paints one of her broader family structure. And finally, the layout and contents of the garage give plenty of insight into the security guard's
He
character.
wants to put surveillance cameras all over the school?
The main students may seem at first to be pretty cliché, but as the game goes on, they are fleshed out significantly, both through conversations and their actions, but mainly through the environmental details littered across each area. Beyond this, many characters subvert their archetypal expectations, which adds depth and believability to this world. Life is Strange also makes use of a lot of symbolism, most of which I won't discuss here. Certain recurring motifs can be seen throughout the game. One of these is the use of a particular shade of blue. For instance, the blue butterfly in the bathroom scene seems to symbolically represent Chloe and her similarly blue hair. It may also tie in with the concept of the butterfly effect, which Max's time travel antics could certainly relate to, through the way she frequently alters small events throughout the day during episode 1. Beyond this, the butterfly effect itself refers to how a small change can have a big impact down the line, with the example of a butterfly flapping its wings influencing the creation of a hurricane. As seen through Max's visions throughout the episode, a hurricane seems to be the big threat for the town, so this could lead back into the plot of Max saving Chloe's life as the small action, and in turn causing the disaster to befall the town. The game's photography theme is used to great effect throughout the episode too. This may seem obvious, as narratively photography is Max's life and reason for her being in Arcadia Bay, but the theming goes far beyond this. The game uses this theme throughout the episode via how each character makes use of these images. For example, Max uses her camera as a form of self-expression, but the security guard uses his cameras as a way of spying on others. Chloe seems to use photos to hold on to memories of her past. This theming even ties in with Max's time rewind power. Max's teacher, Mr. Jefferson, remarks early on that Max has a gift, the ability to capture a moment in time with her camera.
But you do have a gift. You have the fever to take images, to frame the world only the way you envision it.
This gift, as he calls it, seems to match up with her time-altering power, which gives her the ability to freeze a moment and alter it retroactively. There are plenty of clever touches and references like these scattered throughout episode 1. Life is Strange has a lot of heart, and there's an honesty to the interactions throughout the game. A lot of this has to do with the depth that the developers managed to give the characters in this world. It feels close to home, so it's easy to fit right into this mostly ordinary world. Episode 1, Chrysalis, provides a super strong introduction to the series with plenty of interesting plot lines and setting up many potential pitfalls of Max messing with time, which I'm looking forward to uncovering. Episode 1 provides a strong base to build from, so I'm keen to see what direction the rest of the series takes, narratively and creatively. Life is Strange Episode 1 sets the stage for what may be an exceptional series,